Hello, this is Eve from Sew It in Color. In this video, I'll show you how to make the pattern for this simple dress. What we do first is we're going to go to the rectangular pattern tool and we're going to draw the rectangle. You go from the middle and you just draw it out like this. You can estimate more or less the length of the top by adjusting the height of the rectangle. But then if you're not satisfied, you can also adjust it later. So I'm going to click on the Edit Pattern tool. That's the Edit Pattern tool. And here I want to shorten the length. So I'm going to click on this line. And I'm going to keep the left button of the mouse pressed. I'm just going to drag it up. The next tool I'm going to select is the Add Point Split Line tool. And these, you can place points on the various lines and in order to shape the pattern. So along with this, I'm going to click on the Edit tool, click on this point here, delete the line because I need to shape this line for the armhole. Here I'm going to just, with the Edit Pattern tool, I'm just going to click on that line, pull it out a bit. Always with the Edit Pattern tool, click on the point, you drag it down. You drag this other one because I'm just at this point adjusting the pattern. Here, I'm going to pull this point up. Always tweaking these points. Here, I'm trying to understand, really how I would like this, the armhole to be. I'm going to add a point there because these points, when you add them, they create like segments. Under the curvature tool I've just clicked on, I'm going to curve this line between 2 points to create the curvature for the armhole. Then I click on the Edit Pattern tool, click on the middle line, and then you right click to bring up this window, click on Unfold, and you unfold the pattern. Now you can go to the Transform tool. Because you want a copy of this pattern, you right click on it and the window comes up to call for copy, and you right click again and you click on paste. And there you have a copy of this. Now this here, we go to the 3D window and we're going to flip it horizontally, and with the aid of the gizmo, this yellow part, we're going to move it. I usually move it so that it gets in front of the avatar, and then I just put it behind so it's easier that way. And then you toggle it until it's fixed behind. So when you're satisfied, you're going to sew this together. Get your segment sewing tool, and I usually just click on the segments from the avatar, the 3D pattern window rather. For me, it's easier that way sometimes. You match the segments that are supposed to be sewn, the sides, the shoulders. And when it's all done, you stitch them all together by simulating. You press simulate and you, in your 3D pattern window, upper left, and there it is. So here you have your top. Now we have to make the skirt part for this dress. So I go to my edit pattern tool, I click on the line, and you can see the length of the line. And what I eventually am going to do is go to the rectangular tool to create a nice rectangular piece of material so that I can attach it. Sometimes it depends. Here I've the height, you can just select the rectangular pattern tool, click anywhere on the 2D in the 2D window, not on the pattern, and this box comes up and it gives you the width and the height. So you can write the width, desired width in there. And here I want it to be a bit wider so that it can be gathered, a little gathered. So the number, if you want it to be gathered, the number has to be higher than the length that you're going to be attaching it on to. So for example, if I had like 400, I'd want maybe even 450 or 500. Okay, because I want those little gatherings in the middle when I sew them. So this is pretty wide. Okay, because I added like maybe 100 cms on. So what I want to do is I want 4 of these rectangular pieces of a material. Okay, so you can proceed by copy pasting, and here I'm going to move them into position. And then of course I need 2 more that goes to the back. So I'm going to draw out a line around both. Just copy and paste. In the 3D window, I'm going to find these patterns, bring them up, click on them, and flip them horizontally. right click and flip horizontally. So now they're at the back. And now we're going to have to proceed to segment sew and see what comes out. In the left hand object browser, I thought about adding a material, a type of material to these rectangular pieces, and sort of a silky material. Here you can select the material and you just click on fabric and you write the name of the material that was selected. So you can select all of the rectangular pieces and you click on the object browser, you click on that box and you drag it onto just one of the selected materials, and all of them are going to be affected. So with the segment sewing tool, I'm going to begin segment sewing. Note the position that's a segment sewn for two pieces so that they don't become crisscrossed. Now I'm going to simulate to see what comes out. So here we simulate and it bunches up like that, and now it's going to settle a bit. I'm going to tug a little bit on the arms to get the material off. Tug some more. And there you have to decide if you really like this look because it's really bunched up and all, or if you want to modify. In my opinion, I mean, sometimes I go for crazy looks and costumey looks, but I'm not quite satisfied with this. So what I'm going to eventually do is I'm going to just not only change the material of the rectangular pieces to a lighter material, but I'm also going to decrease the width because there are too many gathers. And I'll show you how I'm going to do this. The first thing I want to do is take away the stitching from the side seams of the skirt. So I'm going to go to the edit sewing tool here in the 2D pattern window, and then you click on the sewing and you right click, and there is the option in the window that says delete sewing. So what I've done is deleted the seams at the side, okay, to the both sides of the skirt. So remember, you go to the edit sewing tool, and that edits you. There are many options: delete sewing, reverse. Now I'd like to change the length of these rectangular pieces because I had too many gathers. They just were too long. So you do that using the edit pattern tool. Click on the line that you want to change the length, and then you right click, and there is the option for the length. You write in the length, desired length, and there's another option saying where you want this subtracted from. You click on both so that everything becomes even, and you continue doing this for all the pieces. Okay, you change length, write in the length. I need like 100 centimeters less, and then you click on here. I only did it on one part, and that was a mistake. So to undo what you mistake, you do a Control Z. So here I'm back again, edit pattern tool. You click on the length, right click, and you just go ahead. And I've done all 4 examples, 4 pieces, so that you can clearly see what's going on. Remember, you can always put this the video in the slow mode to better understand if it's I'm going too fast. So you see the window comes up and there are all these options. You change the length, you go to the option with both, okay, and it's really chopped off at both ends equally. And that's the idea. Not just one, but both. So now I'm pleased because I've shortened it the way I wanted it to be shortened, because I don't want so many gathers. And then when I simulate, I'm going to see exactly what's what. Okay, already I think it's better, much better. There's less bulk in the front, less bulk in the back. And as I say, it just depends on what you want to do. A lot of times I just, mess around with these patterns. Huh? And yeah, that looks good. Now I'd really like to change the material to a chiffon type of thing. And this is the way I do it, here in the object browser. So changed it to chiffon already. I'm just going to change the name. And you see the way. So now I'm going to just, yes, have her put her arms to the side, and you go into the X-ray window and use the gizmo to do that. You click on the joint, okay, and you straighten it out like this. That's shown. Okay, that looks a little better. Now we're going to add a fabric for the top, because the default fabric is cotton, but I would like this top to be in silk. So I'm going to just, yeah, I'd like the silk shamos, and you just apply it to the top. You click on it here like this, and you just apply it to one and that you apply it to the other, the front and the back. Of course, you could use hold on shift and select both and just apply it to one, and it automatically both pieces of the top are affected. Now in the property editor, I'd like to now choose at least some color, texture, or something to, I'm not going to leave it all white. Sometimes I mess around with colors until I maybe come up with one that I like. Maybe I'll use this one for the top. It's not bad. I prefer this. Click on OK when you're satisfied. And in this property editor window here, you can click on fabric and you can make these properties, change them a little bit. You can make them shiny. You can make it velvet. You can make it, but I want it to be a bit shiny. It's silk chameau, so it's a little shine. And here for the skirt now, I'm going to use like a sort of a pattern, downloaded. I create these patterns and I download them so that I can apply them to these materials. This, don't like it. Instead of a texture, you can also use a color, another color, no problem. I think I'm going to try this with the blue flowers and yeah, I think this is good enough. It's just that if you look at this, their flowers are great and big. So you go up to the pattern window and you select the edit texture tool. And to your upper right hand, you see this type of gizmo. You can try to tweak it, play with it. You can decrease and increase sizes of the patterns and of the motifs on the patterns. Here for these shoes, I'd like to change the color. So here's what I click on it, go to the property editor and select a color. Here I'm looking in the range of something maybe a little orangey. So I think it's great to, because she's all blue and maybe just to change to offset it a bit. I'm not going to choose blue again. But of course, it depends on the tastes, and you can choose whatever color. So it's okay for one, and then I'm going to choose the other one. Choose that color again. Okay, and I think she's about complete, at least for me. Yeah, the kind of dress. You can always go and tweak it. to the way you like, to what you like. Okay. No, but I think no, I'm gonna leave her alone. Now she's just strutting her stuff with her new dress, and that's great. So this is E from Sewing in Color signing off now from this video tutorial. Have a nice day.